Yeah. Yeah. You know what it is. That straight kingdom talk, baby. You know how I'ma do it. Right. And I ain't going nowhere. 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 So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Watch me hit him with this 1-2 knockout KO. This time it's all or nothing, and I ain't playing around. They tried to overlook me cause I wasn't in the in crowd. Well, I'm back at it, so you know it's going down. And I'm all up in their face, so they gotta see me now with that raw lunch.
What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? I know we just got the 2 out of the 4 that's usually here, but we're gonna still have a great show for you guys
so far
today. So I know it's just gonna happen. It's gonna be a magic trick. It's like before your very eyes, a couple more people are gonna appear, and then someone else is gonna appear, and then before you know it, we're gonna be talking about this huge character. I won't go into it just yet, but it's going to be pretty good. So what's up? I'm one of your hosts, Fivestar. So great to see you guys. Happy Friday. Again, here to my right, your left, sorry, had to get that together, is Uncle Fishy. And so I know he's saving his voice. I want to make sure that you're good. You don't have to do it too much if you don't want to.
Uncle Fishy done caught a bug, and he's got a bit of the Barry White going on. So I'm trying to save it so I don't cough into the mic too much.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make sure, if anything, I can do majority of the talking. But we got a good one in for you today, and I just heard a doorbell. And like I said before, your very eyes, ready for it? Ta-da! Look at that. Ryan has appeared before our very eyes. Happy Friday to you, sir. How are you?
Happy Friday. Tired. Can you hear me?
I
can hear you. Your image is frozen, but
yeah.
I can hear you this time.
I was like, you gotta.
Yeah, I'm a bit frozen right now.
Do your infinite screen thing and see if it resets it. Does that do it?
No, if it doesn't come back, I'll just leave and come back.
All right.
Okay. We'll be here. So we'll get that together. And of course, we'll have another we'll have our other person come in. You know him as the Clapback Kid. So I see some movement.
See movement now.
You drinking water? You staying hydrated? He's a hydrated king. We have movement. There is movement in the house today. Oh my goodness. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Hallelujah. So we have a good show today. We're going to be talking about the Hulk in his wonderful glory. And what is a couple of opinions you guys have? Ryan, how do you feel about talking about the Hulk today? Let's hear
it. For a character, I mean, he's not. I mean, Hulk is a very divisive character. He's more of a mind study character. More of like a psychology character with the mind. Sometimes I don't necessarily feel that Hulk is a superhero per se, because he can have his anthology series. He's had his own series. You know, he's known for. So I think for me, Hulk, as is, he has lines like World War Hulk. Think that he's never been like a personal impact on me as a whole for myself.
Okay, understood. Nothing wrong with that. I was going down the rabbit hole just a little bit, looking at some little fun facts about the Hawk, the big guy. So his debut being back in 1962 or whatever, I found out that he was gray. He wasn't always green. This was a cool concept to learn.
Yeah, green came later.
I talked to Uncle Fishy, how you guys are like in your mediums of art. I learned how it was really difficult for that to be a thing, to really create that gray look.
Comics printing color was still difficult. default back in the day. So it was
Mhm.
easy to print gray. So they decided it was gray for his color until
But getting a solid gray is hard because
Yeah.
if any mistake happens in the print run, you've only got one color being printed for that gray. Where if you're printing four
Mhm.
colors for something, if there's a mistake in the yellow, you're not going to notice it. It gets covered up with the cyan and the magenta. But if it's just like 30% black and you get dust in that printer, you've got a line going right through the Hulk on every issue. And that's a lot harder to get right. Like I'm working on a newsprint comic right now for a kid in a comic, and like that's one of the things we're having to keep in mind, like
Mm.
all these old school things with the print heads that we didn't have to worry about before with digital printers that we've all gotten so used to now. But it was tougher. Getting any good color is tough when you're doing four color process like
Absolutely.
that.
And then just to think that, Stan Lee wanted to make sure there was no color association. So there wouldn't be any ethnic group or culture that felt like it was like singled out, which was kind of a cool point too with that,
Oh
which
yeah, that's very
again,
thoughtful, especially for the day
yes.
in the 60s. But to not have Bruce Banner be like, a white scientist that turns into a giant angry black man, like to have the forethought to realize that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
I loved the Green Hulk. He stood out so much. I think it was, and I
Mhm.
know it was a spur of the moment choice, like, oh, let's just do that. But I think that's the
Mhm.
reason that he's not one of the billions of forgotten monster characters from the 60s from Marvel, like Ook and Mock and Gore and all these ridiculous sounds. Like there's a reason the Hulk is still here because he stood out and he looked cool. And to Ryan's point,
Mhm.
I've never really liked the Hulk as a superhero because he doesn't make sense. As a monster,
Exactly.
I freaking love Hulk. As
Yeah,
a horror
it's like a
story,
Frankenstein
he's
story. That's
awesome.
yeah.
Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, like it really gets that,
Mhm.
that inner beast coming out that you've got no control over, your dark
Yeah.
impulses taking control, losing control of your temper and a rage. Like it,
That's generally how I felt about the Hawk in general. It was a this comic book was a
absolutely.
monster story. It is Hawk old Universal monsters and the old folklore back in the 1600s. It has it. He never really felt like as a superhero to me. He still doesn't. Like he
No,
still doesn't like kind of make sense in
it's
this
just like
world.
Swamp Thing to me. Like he always
Hmm.
should be a monster. Being in the Justice League is ridiculous, but he should
Hmm.
be a monster story, and he's so much cooler there. And the
Hmm.
Hulk is too. The Hulk is something to be feared, even on the best days. I mean, and we've seen that in stories like World War Hulk. I mean, he is terrifying. He is uncontrollable. He never should be on a superhero team because you don't know what you're going to get out of him,
Yeah.
until the
And
writers
he
dummy
can't
it
be
down.
killed. That's the fun. He can't be killed. He's impenetrable and to everything. He can't be
Hmm.
killed. So
And now with the new add-ons to the story, even if he is, he can come back. So like
hmm
that's even scarier now.
Yeah. I mean, now that you're saying that to the scary concept, like one of the facts that I was looking at, it was a thought that the Hawk only appeared at night. So
Hmm.
it's like to amp that factor up even more. Could you imagine a huge, scary green, huge, massive person at night? I'm
Hmm.
done. Staying in the house, lock the doors, hide your kids, hide your wife. I'm not coming out. That's insane, you know?
Oh man, yeah, it's terrifying. And
That's
I know, like,
terrifying.
I grew up in the era of Lou Ferrigno on TV, flexing his way out of the shirts and stuff, and being the biggest kid on the playground. Man, I identified with the Hulk, and every couple of months I have shirts that don't fit, and I'm in there just ripping those shirts as I grew out of them. My mom was so freaking mad,
Oh
but
no.
oh,
that
I
is
identified with it
odd.
as
Immortal
this
Hulk
power
can run.
fantasy that you could turn into this thing and you can flip over cars and nobody can tell you what to do. But I didn't see how scary he should be at that point. I was just like,
Mm.
oh, he's
It
awesome.
kind of adds to it. Oh yeah, like what you said. We were saying that before the show started. The Immortal Hulk series. So to Javon's point, he was saying that. So his inspiration came from Frankenstein. So the
Mhm.
fact that this now has kind of opened the door that if it's like you're any type of gamma ray radiation or anything like that, if you have the door to open up that you could just come back whenever you want to.
I will
That's kind of
say,
scary.
the Hulk's origin story is one of the best origin stories ever. Like in my opinion, it is up there with Spider-Man. Like one of the awesome origin
Ooh,
stories, you know. But
yeah.
like I love that it always plays with the psychological horror of his internal himself, and
Yeah.
that is
Mhm.
the lore and the concrete makes the Hulk so good as a character, and then
Yeah.
to all the other bullshit like and all that dumb shit. Like I don't give a shit about any of that. Flies with me. Like I just think it's a cop out and
Joe
a way.
Fixit kind of rubbed me the wrong way when he
Yeah,
went back to gray at night and became a gangster. I didn't care for that. That just seemed far too organized for the Hulk
right.
for me.
Oh my gosh. Here's another cool fun fact. It says the Hulk is one of the few Marvel superheroes to feature on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, tell me about it, Ryan. You knew that? You saw it?
Told me that.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Mhm.
Sweet. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm excited. I know like the Hulk is he's not my favorite either. However, blood transfusion to a family member did make one of my favorites. She-Hulk is my girl. I love her. That is my
Yeah,
girl. I love
I
she.
and I love her next to the Hulk. I love seeing when the Hulk is a rampaging beast that can't control himself. I loved getting to see her as a counterpoint that she did have complete control over herself. If it's a combination of not as much gamma radiation and not as much trauma and not as much whatever, because even the child abuse trauma stuff is relatively new to
Mhm,
me. Like that's not what I grew up with the Hulk. That
mhm.
was added later on in the stories, but it it makes for a very interesting juxtaposition between the two characters.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I think it's really cool because again, like some of the games that I played, I like how they play into the family thing. Because again, I played She-Hulk and then I would play Hulk, and if I defeated him, she was like, "Yeah, and also don't show up for Thanksgiving." It's just like, oh, like just extra burn, like just like you be cutting a turkey, you guys having dinner, and it's like, yeah, I kicked your butt. You know, it's like, could you imagine the dinner
Never
after
let
that?
that
There would
go.
be no table, anything. Everything's completely done because of the fact that everything just totally went up in arms. But so you guys kind of enlightened me with this because I always like hearing you guys talk about this. So the Hulk was a founding member of the Avengers. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Um,
So crazy to me. That's
okay.
marketing, is what that is.
Okay.
He was just there to be your tank. Like he's your tank character. All he is.
Yeah.
Like I still don't like the juxtaposition of having him. It doesn't make sense to me. The Hulk is rage. He's angry, efficiently dumb, like in a way. So for me, like the Hulk is not a team based kind of character. He never was.
I can
You
say that
know,
for sure with like how Tony Stark said, we have a Hulk. It's like you don't even say it like a member. It's like this is
No,
something
he
we
is a
have
thing.
right?
that we
He's
literally
And
a
unleash. We
which is
unleash it.
absolutely how they would treat him, because I was treated that way growing up among thugs and stuff back in the day. Like people expected me to be some big giant dumb monster they could sick on people like a dog and didn't have any conscious thought of my own. And so I just started to get quiet, and it's amazing the things people won't say in front of you just because they assume that you're stupid because you're bigger than everybody else. So I really kind of identified with that aspect of the Hulk, and it is infuriating.
Oh bless. I guess we could flip it. We could flip it. We could tell from the total sickening. How about let's talk about the heart. Apparently, over the years, the Hulk has over 5 love interests. Ryan, what's that smirking?
Sweet old Betty. Sweet old Betty. Betty.
Which that's a fun, tragic story. Like, I would like telling that part of the story. You love the pretty girl next door kind of thing. Like, you work together, but now this tragic thing has happened, and you're not safe around me. And your father is hunting me down and stuff. So as much as I love you, if I'm going to be with you, then I'm a threat to you and everything else. And your dad's going to kill me. And like, oh, that's such great Romeo and Juliet tragedy kind of stuff right there. It's
Because Mr. General Ross wants everything for himself. He wants him to be a lab project. He wants his blood. It is a tragic story because he's in love with this woman, but can never be with this woman at all in any shape, way, or form.
And half the time, because they treat him like a monster and attack him like a monster, he acts like a monster. But most of those confrontations would never have to happen if they weren't hunting him like a monster.
Yeah, that's labeling there, right there. He just took on to the label that they were taking him on. It's just the shoe fits. That's crazy. So tell me this. Thunderbolt Ross.
The Red Hawk.
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I'm sure that was a great reveal at the time. Like, oh my God, it's him, because it was like a mystery for a bit and all that. But like, I didn't know what was going on with the Red Hulk till like a year later. So by the time I found out what was going on, it was already there. And I was like, really? Him? Like, it. Okay, maybe, but that just like, after this many years, I can't see somebody just saying, yeah, I want to be this,
That is a weird way to do it.
I just can't see it.
What I hate about villains is there's always these counterparts, Flash, and then Reverse Flash. You have the Hulk and
Superman and Bizarro.
Hawk. To me, they're lazy ideas. I'm sorry, y'all can come at me, but it's lazy. It's an extreme cop out. What makes Joker so good for Batman? Because he's completely manic, and Batman he's not manic. Batman is his true self.
Batman's all about control. Joker's all about chaos. Like, it's
so there's their juxtaposition. That's why it's so incredible. When the villains like Reverse Flash, Abomination, Red Hawk, Bizarro, these kind of bullshit ones, you don't care as much, or you don't have. There's no tragedy.
Yeah.
There's no
substance or weight to it.
I don't know. Like, some of them I dig, like Abomination, I dig. Having somebody that is the Hulk but doesn't have Banner's reservations about hurting people and doing bad things and all of this stuff. Like, I find that interesting. And, like somebody with all of Superman's powers, but without his brains and self-control, that's very scary. If done right and not, oh, bad boy, and flies. Like, if you don't make him just absolutely ignorant, stupid, that can be really freaking scary.
Exactly. Yeah. To me, has always been the villain. Like, he's the villain. Bruce doesn't want the Hulk to be something. He never wanted the Hulk to be the Hulk. You know, the Hawk is the villain of the whole
Yeah.
goddamn. To create villains around him, and you never had a personal connection. I really never did, because to me the Hawk was all the fear, the scariness, the one to kill you, you know, without a
Mhm.
second thought.
And
You
he
know, he
could
was always
level a city block while
dead.
y'all are trying to fight the Chitauri, and like he could kill thousands of people in this fight.
Yeah.
You don't have any control over him. You don't have any way to check him. You don't have any way to stop him if he goes off, and turns on you. Like
Mhm.
eh, he's not safe to have around. He shouldn't be safe to have around. And if he is safe to have on a team like that, you're not writing him correctly. You're not doing the character justice, in my opinion, personally.
So I guess then what would you guys really like to see? So I mean, like really get more into the spooky factor, because I was like, if you really wanted to, if you had the creative domain over them of what exactly you would do, what would you do? What type of spooky turn would you take? What if you really wanted to go dark? What would the Hulk do? What would he be?
I would have done Immortal Hulk. I mean, that's exactly where I would have taken him. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
that delves
it
into all the
would be.
body horror of it, and the makes him scary again, and it just hits on everything that I would want to hit on with him. And I might have done a couple of things different here or there, but I basically would have done the exact same thing if you give him to me. And I'm glad somebody got to do it.
If I wrote the
Nice.
Hawk, it would be a psychological thriller. It would be a
Mm.
personal battle between Bruce Banner and the Hawk. There would be no other focus.
Speak of the Hulk,
Oh,
oh, he's gone again.
Yo, what's good?
What is up, Mr. Five Star? Clap
man.
back kid, the chat him up champion.
Man, one of those days. One of those
It's just
days.
one of those days.
I'm out the door. I got one foot out the door at work. Emergency. Okay, here we go. Yeah. 30 minutes later, 40 minutes later.
30 minutes
I'm like,
later.
I look around, I'm like, I think there's enough of y'all. I'm gonna go. So here I am. Heard y'all been talking about the Hawk. The Hawk.
Oh,
The Incredible
I
Hawk.
guess we've been talking about him. We've been talking
Caught a little bit of what
about
Ryan
him.
was saying.
Hmm.
I didn't catch what everybody else was saying. I wasn't trying to be on my phone and drive, cause an accident, and then I don't be here, and potentially somebody else not be here, and So go ahead, proceed.
I mean, I heard what Ryan was saying, but I didn't hear what else y'all was saying. So I mean, I guess it's fine. You carry
I could
on.
listen to Ryan and not die on the road, but if I listen to everybody else, I'm killing all y'all bitches up in here.
Yeah.
My poor lungs.
Hey,
Okay.
So,
what's up, Katie?
So
I mean, we were just talking about the Hulk. What you think about him? Is he your favorite? Is he your least favorite? How you feel about him, Tony?
all right, cool. My turn. The Hawk. I feel like growing up, most young kids have one or the other favorite superheroes. They either are like hardcore Spider-Man or you're hardcore Hulk, right? When you're a young kid, the Hulk just appeals to you. He's big, he's green, he messes stuff up. You're like, I want to be the Hulk. But then as you start to get older, you're like, I mean, he's still cool, but there's just
man, I can't afford to be ripping up all my clothes, man. That's
it's like
expensive, dude.
he's
You know how much shoes cost for somebody with feet my size?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
the Hawk is fun.
not
The
practical.
Hawk is fun. The fact that he
You couldn't go to the grocery store as him.
compared to other characters, he there's a lot of it's just hard. It's hard out here for a Hawk. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine driving as Hulk? Road rage? Seriously?
You know how hard it is for me to find a vehicle I can fit in?
Things. He's got the government after him. He might still be trying to beat up a bad guy. People don't know, if they really want to be around him or if they do. I mean, it's tough out here for a Hulk. You know what I mean?
Imagine trying to go through TSA.
I will say I have very few beefs.
You all
with
up on
the
a no-fly
MCU.
list. You ain't going nowhere.
The way they did the Hawk in the MCU is one of my beefs. I have very few. Javon,
I mean,
Well, what
that
part
is
of the way they did the Hulk in the MCU?
that
Huh?
is not the
Like
Hulk, buddy.
early Hulk or Avengers Hulk?
It's
What part?
It's
I
all
was
trash.
feeling all the way. Hulk caught the hands from Thanos, and then he just fell off.
Everybody caught the hands from Thanos. Everybody.
He did. I'm not saying he. I'm
Oh,
not
he was
saying.
passing
I'm
out.
not
He was
saying
passing
that
it out
he.
like it was sunny.
I'm not mad that he caught the hands by Thanos.
He was
I'm just
making it
mad that we
rain.
never got the Hulk back. We got what we got, and then
Well, Tony,
I'm
that might
allowed
be a
to have my opinion.
contractual
Javon, I'm not
thing
even
with
fighting with you right now.
Universal.
I'm not even gonna argue with you.
That
I ain't
might be
even
a
seen you in a
contractual
while.
thing with Universal. They don't own the Hulk. Universal owns the Hulk.
That's like my
So
one
it's
beef
like-
with MCU.
That's not it false.
It's not a big
A
beef. It's
certain
a
amount
low
of
beef.
screen time, probably. Yeah.
Overall, I like the Hulk. He's not one of my favorites. He's not in my top 10. As a kid, I probably liked him a lot more than I like him now as an adult. But
Not in your top
mean-
10. Is he in your top 20?
maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Just curious.
My son loves the Hulk. It was his first action figure he ever got. Was an Incredible Hulk.
Aw,
Kids love the Hulk, man.
Kids
They
love the
do.
Hulk.
they do.
Other than that, man, he
Batman's got the gadgets. Spider-Man.
well,
can
there's a nice
swing,
turmoil
Hulk
between
smash.
him and Bruce Banner. He's been in some great stories. Planet,
Mhm.
let me say, the Planet Hulk, is that what it's called? What's the actual title of that book?
World War Hulk.
Depends. There's Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. There's two different things.
World War Hulk, where he's in the arena and he's fighting people and messing shit up. I like that book. That's a good story. I like how he's passing out the hands to everybody. That's also a good animated movie. Shout outs to Marvel for that animated movie. They did a great job on that animated movie.
Except not
He's
being
into-
able to put the Silver Surfer in it, but it still was good. But
Yeah, he's got great stories. The Hawks is involved in a lot of dope stuff, but he's just not. He's fell off my list of being one of my favorites. So there you go.
see, that's the thing to me. He falls in that category of a character that I deeply love and love the
Yeah,
idea of.
appreciate.
Don't necessarily love how he gets used a lot of the time.
Hmm.
You know, like we were talking earlier. To me, he's a monster story, and if you stay in that horror monster genre with him, he's freaking amazing, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. Once you try and put him in with the spandex crowd, you know, like just working well with a team doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You got unless you really write him right, and you
Yeah.
have everybody else around him trying to clean up after him and pick up and steer him. Like, you know, if
Yeah.
you're trying to steer a wild buffalo into battle, like maybe that would be cool. But
Yeah.
like, oh, Hulk team player today, I don't buy it.
I hate
Yeah.
how they do him on some of the cartoons. It drives me crazy with the stuff he says. But I get it. Like I get they're appealing to that's like the kids. I get that. But I'll tell you one of the hardest times he's been on film, and he is when they did the like the Ultimate Avengers animated movie, and like he you got Giant Man doing his thing. They're all trying to fight the Hulk, and when Hulk punches him in his big kneecap, and then he falls, and like he just like bear hugs his neck and chokes him out, bro.
Oh gosh.
I loved that part of that movie. I was like, yeah, this is dope.
forgot
I
about
like seeing
that
Hawk
too.
fight the Avengers. Actually, I like when he whoops up on the Avengers, like him and Wolverine fight, or when him and Thor fight. Like I don't know why. Maybe they should just make Thor. Maybe they should just make Hawk a bad guy. I don't.
But he is.
Ron, look like you had something you was trying to say. You just popped in. I don't know if they had
I invited him
Invited
because my voice is going out.
Oh,
okay,
did you?
okay.
I was
Yeah.
like, I heard a bloop. I was like, what?
He needed a louder person. Like I just he needs to turn the volume up. That's why.
Oh, okay. I just got in. So I
Nah,
was
me
running
too. I
late.
just walked in the door.
I was running late.
Yeah, I was I'm getting ready for a con for tomorrow, but
Nice.
but yeah, I mean I like when people have like distinctive and interesting runs with the Hulk. The character itself it could go either way for me. Like it doesn't really matter. But like Peter David's run had really great points in it. Like Future and Perfect, like him versus the Maestro. I love that. Bruce Jones had a great run with John Romita Jr., which was very much like the TV show, like Hulk on the Run. That's when he was dealing with Mr. Blue and Mr. White.
That's
Abomination.
very, yeah.
So I that's usually when I come in.
Off of that run.
Oh yeah. They absolutely took a lot from that. But I
They
just
took a lot from that run.
I just started getting into the Immortal Hulk as of late. I'm like 5 trades in, maybe 6.
Okay. That's pretty good.
So I honestly like I had heard a lot about it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it too. I've heard it was good.
And so like I went on a whim, I think. I just picked up the first one.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I'm not lying here. I read the first one and drove right back to the comic book shop and picked up like the next 2.
Nice.
The only 2 I could find. It was that good. It's like it's kind of a dissection. Okay, you know how in a Fish brought up Swamp Thing. Do you know how Alan Moore had like the way that they had Swamp Thing where you thought of him one way and then afterwards, after Alan Moore's story, you looked at him a different way?
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like you look at Hulk in a totally different light. Like he's the boogeyman in the whole run. He's the boogeyman.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that point. Excuse me, sorry. We were saying, thinking of him just only coming out at night. That definitely like that boogeyman-esque thing. It's very.
I mean, could you imagine? You've got to walk around and survive somehow because you can't die, but you've got this monster that could just kill everything around you. Like, how?
I don't want it.
How do you do anything in life?
There's some legitimate gross parts in the trade in the storyline. There's some scary parts, and you bringing up him versus the Avengers. This is a really good Hulk versus Avengers matchup in the run, and that's just like the first 6 trades.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
I think there's like 10 of them, right?
Oh yeah.
What?
Here's him, like literally 8 her.
No, I thought that was a blob.
No, that's Ultimate.
No, that was the blob.
Shit.
No.
No,
Yeah, that's the blob. You're right.
What a way to go.
That's Ultimatum. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He was like,
it wasn't great.
It
wasn't a great storyline, but yeah.
I bet them wings was like crunchy.
Ew! Why did you have to think it? Like, why? Thank you for the imagery. Like, I didn't
ate a bug. He knows.
Those wings. Hey, I ate a cicada once. Them wings were.
I was like, I ate a bug at some point on purpose or accidentally. My teacher made me eat a cicada.
Purpose on accident.
It was like
Answer the question. The question has been posed.
Now, for me, the teacher made me do it. Like, I used to chase the girls around in kindergarten with them, and I'd like stick it in my mouth, like just to scare them and run.
Tony.
And I ran up to the teacher. She told me not to do it again, and I did. And she smacked my jaw down. I bit that sucker in half.
Ew.
But you want to hear the story of when I ate a bug? Is that what you're asking me?
Did you do it on purpose or accident?
No, it was last year. It was completely on purpose. My son, I was holding the cicada. He was fascinated with the cicadas. He was like, out there messing with them. And he gave me one. He's like, I bet you won't eat it. Now, I'm not about to let my 6-year-old son at that point punk me out. I ain't about to let him show. Nah. I said, what, this? He was like, yeah, I bet you won't eat it. I said,
I figured ate salmonella. Prove that little turd wrong.
I was like,
I ain't backing down.
I was like, what? He was like, oh my God, I can't. And I was like his greatest hero for like 2 minutes. So.
What did you do after the 2 seconds of you chomping down on that, though?
I swallowed it.
You didn't get like, okay.
That's what you do. You don't punk out.
I mean, it just happened.
Listen, if it was mine,
I can't say anything. I've done dumber
stuff. You said,
stuff.
like, obviously you wasn't copping out. Like, you're not going to call me out.
I have a tattoo
on
a dare.
I bet you wouldn't eat it. I'm not trying to. Good on you. Good on you.
I ate it. The wings were the worst part. That's why I say I bet her wings were horrible. The wings were probably horrible. Anyway, enough about me. Don't judge.
Enough
Don't
about
judge.
cicadas.
No, I'm not. It's not that I'm judging. I'm a
Javon is
texture
judging.
person,
Look at
so that's
Javon's eyes
freaking me
right
out.
now.
I'm not
He's
judging. I'm
judging.
just.
Enough
not
on
judging.
having your
I'm just
masculinity
smiling.
threatened by a
He's like,
6-year-old. Let's go back to the Hulk.
Hey, listen, you know, my dad used to tell me about him eating like alligators, rabbits,
Like
and all this
alligator.
other
I've had
stuff, so-
alligator. That's
I've
not
ate
bad.
alligator before.
Yeah. So
Alligator's not bad.
he
Shark?
made a point to try and gross me out. So
Okay, but
I was
it's
like,
just their shell is.
I got
so
a video.
hard.
I'll show you a video. I recorded it.
I don't need to see it.
No,
I
I'll
just-
interesting guy, Tony.
I
I'll send it
went
to you.
all over this island in
send it to
Mexico
you, Steve,
trying
don't
to find
worry.
some place that would sell me iguana.
I'll make it my
And they
point
wouldn't
to send
sell
it
it to
to
me
you.
because I was white.
No, stop it. Stop it. You look like you're searching it right now. Stop it.
I'm not.
Show me your hands.
I'm not.
I'm sorry. Tony is like a big brother to me, and I feel like he would do that just to creep me out.
Oh, I'm gonna
Listen.
send it to you. There's
I
no doubt
said
I'm
stop
sending you the
it
video.
right now.
Yeah, I'm
Stop
sending
it.
you the video.
Stop.
So if we're talking about the Hulk, though, have y'all discussed who's your favorite Hulk villain?
Mm-mm.
Well, we talked about the whole plethora of the fact that he's being a villain. So if that really having any weight to the characters, if they're really relatable or not.
Yeah.
I want to see some bug eating. Oh my god!
If you join
Got you.
Tony's Patreon for $10 a month,
Yeah,
you can
there
watch
you
me eat
go.
all the bugs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Yeah,
the avenue.
Yeah. I can be
over
the
there.
bug eating guy on TikTok.
Over there.
What?
There's
Just
too
sign
many
up for my Only Flies
little
challenge.
rabbit holes,
Only-
rabbit
yeah.
holes to go down on TikTok. Oh my gosh.
So does anybody have a favorite Hulk villain? Or is there a Hulk villain that sticks out to you? Or is there anything like that? Any kind of Hulk villain trees? Villains?
His dad. Like his dad is the biggest Hulk villain of all. Like seriously.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty bad right there.
Dude crawled out of hell just to mess with his son.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he killed it. He
Pretty
whooped on his mother,
Ugh.
forcing his son to kill him, and then crawled out of hell twice.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
to
It don't get much worse than that. That's pretty personal.
That's pretty bad.
You're like, you know what? I'm gonna climb out of hell to mess with this my son. What about let's talk about General Ross though. Like, I hate the Hulk, but I'm going to become a Hulk to beat what I hate.
That pisses me off because ain't nobody
Like,
gonna spend
I hate.
50 years of their career hating something.
What's what I'm saying?
And
Like,
then
You
I
never
turn around at
know.
the
He
last
has a
minute
very
and
strong
change it.
energy,
Hulk,
and
but
some
I'm gonna
people
become
will
a
go
Hulk
to extreme
to-
limits.
Oh, they will do extreme things.
I
They
mean,
will do
come on.
terrible, horrible things in hate.
I like Red
But how
Hulk,
many clan
but-
members you gonna see sign up to like, you know what, give me that melanin because I'm fixing to show them. No, they're not gonna do that. Even
What,
if
you
they
didn't watch
change
Get Out?
their mind, they're not gonna
Right.
admit that they've been wrong for 40
I
years.
mean,
Like,
you didn't watch Get Out?
that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Red Hulk, but it's
That's
funny to
funny.
me. It's
I
like
still don't like Red Hulk. I
nah.
He's a
still think it's
gimmick.
absurd.
I mean,
gimmick.
the idea of there being a Red Hulk, I don't mind. The idea of it being Ross, that's just, I
Yeah.
don't
It
buy.
wasn't even that. It was like it was almost like this. They I don't know if any of you read the Red Hulk storyline, but it was like he could beat everybody. He was literally just walking through the storyline, just whooping on everybody. And then after it got to a point where I was like, well, what's the point of this?
There ain't.
Like,
It's
I don't know.
it's the Venom syndrome. It's like let's make a worse,
version,
different colored version of this character. And I mean, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like he's Hulk, but he's more angrier.
I
He
know.
gets even
Crazy.
angrier. And he's red.
Though, granted,
And
like
he's stronger.
the Hulk with military training would be scary. Like that would be
Oh, absolutely.
terrifying.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
I mean,
Oh,
I
dear.
don't like I said, I don't dislike the Red Hulk. I'm just saying it.
That's my
100%.
problem with so many of the Hulk villains, though.
So
Is like they're good ideas. Like I could do cool stuff with the Absorbing Man, but him just being an idiot that, like,
Yeah.
grabs a chunk of metal and pounds things.
yeah.
That's completely boring.
Oh,
The
you gotta watch
leader
it.
could be so cool, but if he can't outsmart the idiot Savage Hulk, then what's the freaking point? Like,
if you like Absorbing Man, you got to read Bruce Jones' run.
Okay.
Bruce Jones had a really good take on it because he had a smart Absorbing Man.
Nice.
Well, I'm kind of curious because I found this article about 15 different superpowers that he has. Huh?
Sorry.
Oh, you okay?
My kid's got this new kitten. It's a little. Ooh.
Okay.
It just came by and. What?
You got another cat?
No, they did. I don't know. It ain't mine. I don't do anything with it.
Boy,
They just came up and like
another cat.
one died. One died, and we got a replacement.
Aw.
Oh, got another one.
You can only increase or stay the same. You cannot decrease in cats.
Hey, I got to go, guys. I got to get ready for this con tomorrow. But y'all have a great
Javon,
weekend.
hey, good luck. Kill it out there at the con, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for dropping in.
Brother.
All right. Have fun. Be safe. Well, I was just gonna ask. I was curious. I was gonna ask him if one of his thoughts on it too, but I guess I can ask you guys as well. One of the 15 superpowers that he has that says he can punch his way through dimensions. Now, that's pretty interesting considering.
That's a recent power.
I was about to say, is that recent or is that one that like he's always done? Because that's kind of scary. The boogeyman that can punch
look, they gotta have new things like that to make the Hulk like interesting.
Well,
again.
and like when you ride him into a corner and eternity or something, put him in another dimension and he has to get back somehow, but dumb Hulk can't, build a portal. The sheer force of will and smashes through it. I'd do the same thing if I got really stuck.
Superman can basically jump through time now. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
because it's like he can survive.
Brad's been asking us to do the Hulk. I'm wondering, Brad, if there's any. I mean, obviously you're a Hulk fan, Brad. I'd be interested to hear, write in your comments, kind of what's your favorite stories with the Hulk. Why have you been asking us to do the Hulk? Obviously, there's a connection to the character there.
Yes, Brad. What are the 5 things you love about the Hulk?
Yeah.
Or David Banner.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Who said David Banner? Who called him David Banner?
On the TV show. Because they couldn't call him Bruce because Bruce sounded too gay.
Call him Bruce.
Oh, I thought you were talking about David Banner, the rapper.
No, it was David. It was
Banner.
David Bruce Banner on his tombstone.
He's been trying to enjoy the Hulk. Okay.
I have a dad joke for you guys. Are you ready for it? Welcome to it.
For those of y'all playing at home, that's time to take a shot because Tony just got attacked by the cat again.
What is going on?
Commercial break. No, just kidding.
Where are them kids? Go mess with them.
Are you out of cats? Have you suddenly decreased in cats? Well, it's time to get another cat. Go on down to House of Clapper.
Always make sure your cats are spayed or neutered.
Digging her nails into my leg.
It's showing that she loves you.
No. Okay. Anyway.
Just like my new wiener leaves me little love notes all over the house. Like it's a sign of affection.
So
I
don't know what all you guys have talked about. So
apparently is this a new ability? He can change colors, which shows look at the kitty.
There you go.
So scary.
I know it's just sinking into his leg, just showing how much he loves him.
About the Simba.
You mean Simba or Mufasa?
I ain't about to Mufasa. I'm not. We do not promote that here on 5-Star Fridays. We don't hurt animals here.
Okay, good.
They hurt us. He's hurting me. Stay down. Go away. Psst, psst.
Oh, really? Brad didn't even up on the Hulk that much. With the Hulk, Red Hulk, Joe Fixit, Gamma Flight thing, where did all these Hulks come from? I haven't read that much Marvel until recently. Okay. So, I used to read so much Marvel, and then I quit. Now I just read indies.
So Red Hawk, is Ross. He is
Russ.
Injected himself with
he
a
injected
serum so that he
himself.
could get the Hulk's powers.
Yeah.
Right. Gray was
And you guys might pull my nerd card here. I'm not really sure what the Joe Fixit thing is.
Well, you're also a little bit younger. Like I was in high school when Joe Fixit came out, like
Yeah.
junior high, high school, and they switched the Hulk. They took him back to the original gray, and he started changing into the Hulk at night, and he was now an intelligent Hulk, but he was a completely new identity. Like turning into this gray Hulk made him a whole new identity, and so he called himself Joe Fixit and put on a gigantic pimp suit and like
Okay.
moved to Vegas and started running the mob, and
He
you
was
know
like stuff.
it was just like a total switch. I think it was really trying to play into like the whole Dick Tracy buzz when that movie came out and the old school
Right.
gangster vibe. So
Okay.
he totally became that instead of becoming the Frankenstein like monster that he used to be. Now he's a gangster.
It's called trend. They were on a trend.
Exactly.
Trending.
Hey, he could have ended up with pouches and spikes all over him, but instead he ended up in a zoot suit.
He was
which was, quite popular at the time.
Yeah. It'd been funny if they tried to put him in a super suit with like the pouches and the 90s over the top pouches and stuff.
There's a scan in the Avengers where you can be the Joe Fixit Hawk.
So interesting. So when you're talking about the colors, I'm looking here how they're talking about various colors over the years. Obviously, like Ryan and Uncle Fishy and I were talking about like the colors on print. However, they're saying now with powers, each color represents certain things. Like if he was gray, he would be crafty, sneaky, like things like that at night, or corrupt. And then when angry, he would turn different colors. So what are you guys' opinion on that? Like, should he just be some type of like mood ring, some crazy huge?
I think all that is kind of.
I mean, if you're trying to really delve into the dissociative identity disorder and like really play into that aspect, that could be interesting, but you got to do it right, and that usually only tends to be interesting to a certain group of people, and not everybody. All the kids aren't going to be running around the playground. I'm Red Hulk. I'm Gray Hulk. They're not going to do that. And they're just going to yell Hulk smash and tump over the teeter totter. So it's kind of a limited market to me for that. But
okay, well, how about
I like one kind of Hulk, okay, and
Okay.
that's like Avengers 1, Avengers 2, him ripping stuff apart, beating things up, and they got to calm him down. Like, yo, okay, we used you for what we need. Now we need you to calm down.
I mean, it's an interesting idea to have Banner on your side and have to convince the Hulk like each time and try and manage him and deal with him.
Sun's getting real low, pal.
That's interesting. Like that can be very interesting. They could have done more with it, but I dug what they did there.
Movie interpretations of the MCU, like once, like after looking back on, do enjoy the Incredible Hulk, but they still have not really aced his character. Really sideline him and really kind of like just fucking made him a poodle. Like he's like a poodle in the MCU. He's not scared. He's not a threatening character. Like the interpretation.
See, I don't hate Smart Hulk, and I dig him with Ruffalo. I think he's fun.
No,
but
that is just
he's fun. He's not scary and intimidating anymore.
Yeah, that is a decision that I think Mark Ruffalo even had a problem in. I feel like the character itself, evolution, and the arc of the Hawk in the MCU is just very, like I said before, it's lazy. They could have made, if it like Spider by Sony, the Hawk and Namor is owned by Universal. They could have movies, even spawning off Thor Ragnarok. They could have made an individual for him to bring back that Hawk and love, and could have got the whole Smart Hulk by the end of that movie. You know, we
Yeah.
just went into Smart Hulk. Just became Smart Hulk by Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that I
and
really felt like we got ripped off because I think I really loved the part of the Hulk being scared off by Thanos for that version of Hulk. I get why people that have been reading Hulk for 40 years like, oh, Hulk would never. I totally get that outrage. But for that movie version of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, I totally get the idea of being beaten for the first time and it's scaring the crap out of him. And the whole, no, you just want to use me as a weapon and I'm not going to let you do that anymore. Like, fight. I get that, but we didn't get enough of it. We didn't get it fleshed out enough. If you don't watch all the deleted scenes and stuff, you don't even get some of those little
yeah,
nuggets.
like, it's an exposition character. Like, even in She-Hulk, all of a sudden, like, there's no backstory. All we know is that he had it during he was on Sakaar and Thor Ragnarok. He's an exposition character. Like, I don't like it. Like, they really have dumbed that nigga down. Like, it is a tragic story as a whole in the MCU. How
I mean, they are limping around,
yeah,
hobbled by contracts from years ago, which
him one movie and you don't give him any other movies, but you can give. You gave Spider-Man 3 movies. You can give my boy another before, or the happenings between Infinity War or the happening Thor Ragnarok to Infinity War. Come on.
And from what I hear, it comes down to distribution
It
on
does.
the contract that they have, and
It
that's
does because it has an allotted screen time. Yeah, like Universal has that contract is probably tight.
But
like you can only
they made a lot of stupid decisions in some of these contracts. Like back in the 60s when they did the Batman TV show, they signed away permanent rights to Batman TV shows forever, and it never ended. And Fox owned the rights, which is why Fox got to do Gotham and stuff. But it wasn't tied into the rest of the CW stuff. And then now Disney owns Fox, and Disney and Warner Brothers ain't gonna play together, so you just ain't gonna see that again. Like, it's tragic, but they were making deals when these were just funny books that people read and threw away, and
now they're big money makers. Like,
you're
gonna get a lot of Batman television shows. You're gonna get a lot of that from Warner Brothers app, now called Max, not HBO Max.
Right.
So you're gonna.
They just keep changing that crap.
You're gonna see a lot of Batman television shows.
As somebody that backed the DC Universe Online, app back in the day, it ticks me off to see them keep making changes because I'm like, man, I'm fixing to get screwed again. Like, I know.
Right. Yeah, so
Tommy's got a friend.
I do. He won't leave me alone. Run away.
You're the only one in the house too, though.
Right. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's true, High Evolutionary, because the Incredible, that is a terrible film. Not the
Oh yeah.
Incredible Hulk. Lee's Hulk is awful. Absolutely terrible. I agree with that. You look at that today, it is
There's a couple of things that I did like. Like, I liked him sweating off all the stuff as he changed, just because of the physics of it. Where the hell does all that mass go? Like, I like the fact that they tried to address that, and I liked the concept of him getting bigger and stronger the matter he gets. But that doesn't make sense how his skull's growing, and it like that only works up into a point. And then you're just like creating so much stuff. You're not going to sweat out a giant skull.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the Hulk is the comic book stills that they did at the end, where he's flying through the lightning, trying to beat the shit out of Nick Nolte and shit. Itself, it's incredible. It's probably really unwatchable.
It's so rough. But like, I'm finding tiny gems in a big pile of crap. But
Yeah,
you know,
and I agree with you too, Fish. How he decreased.
and I'm not saying they even used those gems well. I'm just saying they had potential. Those weren't polished cut diamonds. They were rough, but there were little diamond flecks in there.
Yeah.
But the
That's a good way
movie,
to put it.
I mean, like I said, the Hulk has not been a really good character in the MCU. Actually. He has not had a good. My best thing about the Hulk is the only thing that I love to you is probably him on that ship on Ham, in Age of Ultron when he's inside beating the shit out of the Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's nothing I can about the action versions of the Hulk. I necessarily feel like sometimes I even feel like Mark Ruffalo just phones it in like manner at a certain point. He gave a shit in Agent Ultron, first appeared in the Avengers, but like when you look on and on and on, it's very after Thor Ragnarok, it's just like he's just clocking in. Like it's a very performance. So
Yep.
Tony's nursing his baby to sleep.
Yeah.
Rockabye
I
pudding.
think the I mean, what more can you say about the Hulk? Like, is he a fun character? Yes. Is he cool to have in the Avengers? Yes. If you got to call on the big guns, get it. But like, kids love him. He's a great selling tool for kids. Other than that, it's like he's the Hulk. It's cool.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who the Hulk is. He's definitely.
I did enjoy the fact I'm always kind of iffy about him being on the Avengers at all, but I did love the fact that Tony had an entire Hulkbuster suit built, ready to go in the movies.
Oh yeah,
because you know this is going to happen. That took a lot of time and planning to get that in orbit, and like that was smart thinking because you've got this rampaging beast that you're trying to aim at the bad guys, but you never know when it's going to turn around and bite you.
Right. True. That is true.
Well, I think that's that. That's this cat's gonna have to start going with my wife and
I told you, you got a friend. You got a friend. He's like, I want to be the fit store. I want to be the fit store. I want to talk. Are you okay?
Anyways, yeah. P, you started it. You end it. It's your show.
I was just letting you guys go. I thought that was great. We talked so much about the Hulk, and we even got amazing footage of Tony's little kitty just having a ball with him. So I think we kind of checked off all the things off of our list today. I would say this was a pretty great Friday, and it only gets better from here. So, I mean,
it's a great weekend.
Like we always say.
Crossed. All the fingers crossed.
It's going to keep getting better. It's going to keep getting better. Fishy, you get better until you get your voice. But you sounded like you got it back. But I mean, hopefully you feel 100%.
Well, everybody else didn't hear all the crap I was coughing up when we first started talking.
That's true.
But that helped a lot, getting all of that out.
That's true. He was doing like Tarzan. Like,
oh, man. It was brutal. I'm sorry. But,
no, you're okay.
I love
I'm
you.
glad.
Sorry.
If anything, I want you to be back to 100%. Obviously, I want you guys always to be healthy and well. And you guys back home always be the best 5-star version of yourself.
There it is.
Thank you so much for being part of this show. We will see you guys next week. Take care, be safe, and have a great night.